We are live. Wonderful,
Mhm.
wonderful. Welcome, everybody. This is our week one celebration, catch up, check in for the 21-day meditation challenge. We've got a whole week behind us. And I have to say, I'm flabbergasted at the things that people are posting in the group, in the Facebook group, the support group, because I think there's a lot of people in there who are new to this whole process, and yet, holy cow, the experiences they're having
Mhm.
would be something you would expect of somebody who's been around and doing this a lot longer.
Mhm.
So I think that's attributable to, first of all, the 4D experience that we're in, and just that the energies are shifting so rapidly right now. It's kind of almost opened up a portal for us to go deeper than we have gone before.
Mhm.
So we have a few people here from the Facebook group. Are you guys feeling that same thing?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Had you had experience with meditation, David?
When I was 21, 60 years ago, 50 years ago, I went to California and I practiced meditation. I went to India and was
Mhm.
in India for a few months. And I became so discouraged that
Mm.
when I came back to the United States, I walked away from it all.
Mm.
But the calling recently is so strong in me, I can't ignore it anymore. So a few months ago, 6 months ago, started meditating regularly again, and then started practicing, opening up to my guides and divine helpers, and doing that. And then shortly after that, I found Deborah, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm not, I just got back into meditation about 6 months ago, and I'm so mad at myself for waiting so long, but I just it just took me a while to wake up.
Yeah, well, when you're ready, it happens. So you
Yeah.
had experience. It's not brand new for you to meditate.
It's not brand new, no.
Okay.
Kind of like starting over after many, many, many years. So that's I'm glad I got to explain that to you because I made it sound like I just started, but it's a little bit more than that.
Well, that's okay. I mean, people at all stages of their journey are
Yeah.
certainly welcome to
And I,
join.
I, I saw you with Dave Johnson,
Uh-huh.
and that really interested. I really thought that was amazing. And so I had said, I have to look this woman up and see if I can find her. And then that's how I came to you.
No, I'm so
So
glad you did because now you're part of our membership. And so we're going to
I'm
be
glad too. It's
time.
very good.
Yeah, wonderful. Hey, more people are popping in. While we're waiting for them to pop in, let's see what's happening on the YouTube side. It looks like we've got a handful of people over here. Palma Ryan from Maine, welcome. Vicky, welcome. Sonia, Arizona is happy. Yeah. So how come you guys aren't on the Zoom call? You don't want to show your face? Is that what it is? Hey, Jolene, welcome. Aloha to you. Tom, Aurora Blue. Awesome. So we got some stuff going on over there. Vicky says that she's been laying down with lapis on her third eye, which is taking her deeper. That's a cool idea.
Mm, wow.
Sonia, the Zoom link is in the group, so just pop into the Facebook group and grab the Zoom link, or it's in my email from yesterday. I sent it in both places. Love to have you. And you are new to meditation. Yeah, and you're getting some amazing stuff. Tom
Deborah,
from
can I ask
Philly.
a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
Hi, this is
Your
Liz.
your
I'm
volume's a
sorry.
little your volume's a little low. If you could turn it up, that would be great, or get closer to the microphone. I know you're driving, that might be hard.
Yeah, I'll try it like this. I've done some guided meditations before, but this is like the a more of a consistent practice. So as we continue, can you hear me? Okay, does this make
Yeah,
sense?
much better.
As we continue on, or as I continue on with this process, should I be looking to connect with Metatron in each session? Or if I'd like to maybe try connecting with another one of my guides or a collective, is that okay to explore?
No rules, whatever you feel led to do. If
Okay, great.
feel comfortable with Metatron, call him. If there's anybody else, or you can just go in and say, hey, who's here today from the light that wants to talk to me?
Okay,
That
great.
can
Thank
be
you very
fun.
much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So Kathy, do you want to talk about how the experience has been for you so far?
Sure. I've meditated for a long time, but I don't know that I've done it every day consistently. But this is a lot different because I wasn't focusing on the solar plexus and all that. And also the Akashic records is all new for me. And so I'm finding it very different, but I like it a lot. And it was kind of like, everybody's having all these great experiences, and I'm like feeling like I'm not really getting anything, but I'm going to do what you suggested earlier today about the visual, or maybe Metatron suggested that in the day 8 write up. And because I think that would help me. I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, it's baby steps. You're going through it, figuring it out. But use your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly fine. In fact, it's preferable because it helps you step into it deeper. If you think imagination is wrong and you're shutting it down, you're actually blocking the experience.
Okay. Well, maybe that's what I did. Maybe I blocked it because I'm very visual. But I mean, I do get messages from my guidance, but we don't have the dialogue part. That's what I'm really missing. I really wanted to do that.
Yeah, you'll get it.
I mean, it's kind of like one way from them to me.
Uh-huh.
But then, I'm not able to, do it with them. Like, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, just talk. They're listening all the time. For you to hear it is what you're trying to learn to do here. So if
Yeah.
you allow the imagination side of it and stop letting ego shut it down, you'll get more faster. It's really just breathe, relax, allow. That allow is important. Allow
Right.
power to come and wash over you. And I did post the meditation of the powwow with ego in the group today in case some of you didn't know about that.
Okay.
That's from the first book, Akasha Unleashed. And it's a very powerful exercise because you go into this meditation where you're sitting in a powwow with your higher self, your soul, and your ego. And it's all about let's be friends and cooperate here because, we're all sharing this experience. So it's
Mhm.
to a place of friendship and cooperation. That will help a lot.
Yeah, I think it will. Thank you.
You're welcome. So look for that link. Hey, glad you got here. Anybody who wants to speak, please pop in. We're very informal here.
Well, can I say a little more? I I see things, not like big colorful banners of things, but I'm getting impressions. And it seems like as soon as I focus on them, they disappear. And so if I just focus on my breathing, it seems like it's like something's just out of my reach. You know what I mean? Just not quite there is how I feel.
Well, you're building the muscle, right? So whatever you get is perfect. Try not to judge it. It
Oh,
will
yeah. Okay.
over time. You're only one weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. That's part of my, even at this age, a little bit ADHD because I expect too much. I think it right away,
Just keep remembering the mantra, breathe, relax, allow, and then
Yeah.
flow. Whatever they bring you is perfect. And sometimes even the littlest thing can be quite significant, like you seeing the eyes and you were confused about that. Why am I
Yeah.
seeing?
All the time. Yeah.
So they'll keep showing you something until you get it. When you get that ding, ding, ding moment and you understand it, they'll move on and show you something else. So it'll be really interesting to see if eyes keep showing up, because if then there's something deeper to be gleaned from that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
How's yours going, Elena? You're in such a different place now. Literally.
It's been interesting, you know, like that first, I mean, that first night, it just came in with a bang. It's like, wow, you know, it was amazing. And I don't know if it was the next couple nights, because I would, for some reason, apparently I have set up. So when I go into the Akashic, the records now, I have a sofa there. So I go in and I sit on my sofa waiting for somebody, you know, to show up and talk to me. And after the first night, I was just kind of blown away because Metatron cracks me up because he's like, well, so you're going to actually commit to it this year and do it the whole time, huh? And I was like, well, yeah. I said, I've been doing it all along, all these years since we started this. And he's like, yeah, but you never really committed to it. And the next 2 nights, I showed up on the sofa, sat there, and they're reclining sofa. So if anybody ever wants to come and join, go right ahead. Nothing happened. And I'm sitting there. That's where that sound of silence keeps coming in. It's like, because it literally is like silent, nobody. And then the third night, I think it was the third, and I actually recorded it, which usually I'm not in a frame of mind that I can even think that, oh, let me grab my phone and record it. But I find it stuck with me a lot more. I haven't transcribed it yet. That's why it's not in the group. But I literally floated into the Akashic records. And I had a gossamer white flowing gown on. And I was like, whoa, cool. And it's not the first time I've seen this gossamer white. I had to look up gossamer because I was like, what does that even mean? So I had to look it up to see what gossamer was. But I was waiting for my sofa. My sofa wasn't there. Instead, there was this beautiful, ornate, golden staircase with red carpet. And this disembodied voice up at the top says, come on up. And I'm sitting here like, it's easier to go down when you're wearing a dress like this instead of climbing up. But it was interesting. They showed me a coat of arms. And it was kind of fuzzy, especially the middle where they have all the detail that they put in there. But out of this one, flowers kept coming out of it. And I was like, wow, this is kind of weird and freaky, but okay, we're going to go with it, you know. And then it vanished. And then I think it was like a billboard because it was huge. It had a lot of words on it, but they were kind of smudged and they were all backwards. So you really couldn't read what they said. And it was one of those moving billboards. So the words kept changing. And I'm sitting there like going like this, trying to like, what's that say? And finally I heard, no, go ahead. Come on up, come on up. And literally when I got to the top of the staircase, the whole top of the Hall of Records just opened up. And it was just like I think it's indigo. I think it was like an indigo sky just shone, and the light shining down from that was so bright. It like hurt my eyes. I was like, wow. So of course I was expecting better things on the next night and the next night. And I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs again. And last night, Metatron was like, well, you know, Archangel Michael has you so busy. We decided to let you sleep for a few nights. And he goes, and tonight he goes, I just don't think anybody wants to talk to you. So you can go to sleep.
Wow.
I was like, fine. So it's been interesting because it ebbs and flows. It's like when they really have something powerful that they want to tell me or show me, it comes through in full force. And then other times there's just nothing.
So what if you changed your perspective and decided that, let's say tonight when you do your meditation or tomorrow morning, whenever you do it, you're going to use your imagination and you're going to go and have a fun adventure in the records. You can create it. You can set the scene, put it out there, and then kind of turn it over to them to see where they take it.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't always have to be the deep work. Sometimes it can just be a fun adventure.
Well, that's what I was sitting there waiting for. Well, although they did, some stuff trickled in this afternoon. So there, I know something is going on still. And it had to do with the whispering, you know, how they keep bringing in the soul whisperer. And then they brought in the name for the new YouTube messages on Sundays of nature's whispering spirits. And they reminded me that it was one of the names that they had given me a long time ago for the name of the business was Whispering Winds, except at that time it had I think Spiritual Center or something behind it. But they also brought back into my awareness two of my other names that I have gone by in other lifetimes was Dear Whisperer and Shananea, which means she who rides the winds.
Mm.
And I completely had forgotten all of that, and it kind of sunk in. So there's stuff going on. It's just not, I don't remember it right away when I wake up or come out of the meditation.
Well, it sounds like part of your journey back to remembering who you are as a soul.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing little bits and pieces to help you reconnect with that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. If that's the big thing that comes out of this, that's amazing.
Huge.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And if you guys get messages or visuals that have this funny resonance, but you can't quite put your finger on it, it could be fragments from a past life. So just be open to that being the case. And of course, you can ask for clarification. And also, come to the group and ask, and we can help you with that as well. Sonia, how about you? I see you just turned your camera off again. You want to share about your journey here? Sonia's being shy.
Uh, I'm not sure what I'm doing here.
That's okay. You just have to unmute now. I'll send you a message. That'll help. There you go.
Unmute. All right. I'm just glad to be here, because I think that because I've never meditated before, this is a learning experience for me. I've had other experiences, but I've never been able to meditate. And it's like almost people assume that you can. And that's what I like about this group is with the book, it kind of walks you through how. And then I hear people talking about belly breathing, and I'm like, okay, what is that? So I'm learning a lot. I just trying to get there.
Yeah, the belly breathing part is in one of the meditation days in the book. So if you haven't gotten to that day yet, you will. It's pretty early on.
All right.
So Metatron just crafted the whole experience. I'm sorry. And that was part of what he brought out. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. It was the belly breathing and all of that. Okay. I'll have to go back through it again.
Yeah, sometimes you have to read it more than once to really soak it because it's a lot.
It is. It is. So, but I'm really excited to be here to do that. I can remember being a young child and knowing things. Just it's like a I don't know what it is when you just know. I mean, so I know that there's gifts. I have gifts. I just got to get in touch with them again.
Mhm.
But clair knowing is that sometimes kind of freaky is you just know something from the past before I was ever born, knowing where my brother drowned and just knowing things prior to my birth. So it's been quite a strange world.
Well, the timing is absolutely perfect because We need more people who are awakened, enlightened, and participating actively if we're going to make a real difference. And I think
Yes.
that, as we move past January 20th, things might get even a little more challenging in that regard because there's so much negative pushback right now.
Mm.
But we just have to stand our ground and keep beaming that love light. And this will help,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
coming together in a group, being able to do it collectively, that makes a huge. So I appreciate
Yeah.
you
I
do.
have someone to go through with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
And it's so important because, if you're new to meditating, you could come in and say, I'm not getting anything. I'm doing it wrong. When really, you're just not recognizing what you're getting, and we can help you to figure that out. I had
Okay.
a person tell me, oh, it's those intrusive thoughts. That's the angels. And it's like that hadn't clicked before.
It's like the first thing that pops into my head. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, without thought, it's, oh, that's where that happened, or that's, it's just like knowing.
Yeah.
It yeah.
Because it's stuff you weren't consciously thinking. It just comes in and it's so powerful.
Mm-mm.
So if you recognize, oh, well, that's my team talking to me, so write it down, preserve it, and watch where it goes. That's where the magic is. And
Okay.
sometimes you'll go into a meditation, you'll get nothing, and you'll feel a little discouraged, and it's like, okay, twiddling my thumbs, what am I doing here? So instead of feeling frustrated, you can create your own scenario. Go to that beautiful place that you can go to in a meditation. You've probably done that with somebody in a guided meditation. Go to that beautiful place where you feel calm, supported, and loved. And then from there, look around, see what you see. And if you don't see something that you'd like to see, put it there. You start the story. That's called priming the pump. So you
Okay.
use your imagination to fill out the scene, or maybe to go somewhere you'd like to go. And then at some point, what will happen? You'll notice it was like there was a click, and suddenly you're not doing it anymore. Your angels are doing it. So that's a really great technique for when you get stuck.
Okay. That's great.
And you can do that anytime. That way you don't get frustrated and block yourself.
Right. Because I do that.
Don't do. It's human nature. But we're learning to be more present and not do that. That's the journey.
Right.
And some of us have done this challenge multiple times, and yet there's still space for growth and expansion because we
Yes.
never get it done. There's always higher layers. Now, is anybody having an experience where maybe some trauma from your past is all of a sudden coming up, a recovered memory, connection with something? Because that can also happen. Dave, did you want to say something?
No. All 7 days have been exactly the same. I yawn for 15 minutes, constant yawning for the whole 15 minutes. And so I know it's just going to take time.
Yeah. And there's probably a little block in there somewhere. So if you try the technique of prime the pump, create the scene, go there, be there, feel it, experience it, and then let them take over when you feel ready to do that. That'll help a lot.
Thank
But
you.
the yawning is important. The yawning is an energetic connection that something is coming through and it's causing you to yawn. With horses, yawning is a sign that they're processing something.
Mm.
Mm.
I can feel that I'm receiving energy because my third eye tingles.
Yeah,
Yes.
beautiful.
Mm.
Sometimes it's a little bit of fear of what you might see, and you don't have to be afraid because whatever they show you is always going to be something uplifting and supportive.
Okay, thank you.
You could take your favorite fairy tale and put yourself in the middle of it. It sounds silly, but it's the fun energy that counts. I've gone in, and one time they showed me Glinda the Good Witch was there and had a conversation with me because I was stuck in this big swampy area of pink marshmallow cream. That's where they put me when I went in, and it's like, ick, this is nasty stuff. I want to get out of here. So she directed me to a fountain. And when I washed myself up in the fountain, there was magic in the water that helped to open up the third eye and helped to understand more of what was going on. And then she took me on a tour. We went into the woods and we went to this cabin. And I met this little old lady who invited me to tea, and we had a great conversation. She shared some really high level wisdom with me. And, just the craziest thing. So whatever comes to your imagination, go with it. See where it takes you.
Deborah, this is Liz again. Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
I'm good at questions. And I don't remember which days these were, but for 2 days in a row, the first day, as I went into the Akashic records, the image that they gave me kind of set that tone. And then they started a story, and my guides tend to use things that I've seen, either movie clips or fairy tales or other things, pieces of stuff from things that I've seen or aware of. And that's exactly what happened. So the story started, and after the 15 minutes, I heard, that's it, stay tuned for chapter 2. So then the next day, when I went in, they finished that story. And as I think back onto the story that unfolded, I'm seeing that there are other aspects or messages buried in there that I might not have been aware of in the meditation. Is that something that I can explore a little higher, or just ask them, what else can you reveal to me about the story that I haven't been aware of yet, or explore that story a little further?
Well, I don't know if you saw Dave's message he posted in the group about seeing all the eyes.
Okay.
So you could do it like that. You could look up the symbolism. Anything you see in your message that doesn't make sense, look up the symbolism, even if it's down to the color, the shape. So it's what happens is you've got to put on your detective hat and go deeper, because they're giving you all this symbolism. They can't come right out and tell us some things because that would interfere with our free will. So they drop all these hints and symbols to help you, right? So you just go play detective. And if you get stuck, share it in the group. We'll help you decipher it, and people will weigh in with what it feels like to them.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, first for you, feel your way through it. How does it make you feel? There's always big clues in that.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And mostly enjoy the ride because it's just so fun.
Yes. Thank you.
And if there's a particular archangel or an ascended master that you feel drawn to, invite them to join you in your meditation.
Okay.
Same goes with departed loved ones. If you'd like to see them, invite them in.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah.
There's so much to explore and so many possibilities.
There is. It's endless. And, this is supposed to be a pleasant, fun experience that inspires and intrigues you to go deeper.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And, if anybody's finding that memories are popping up or, unexpected things, go with the flow and just enjoy it, because it's an opportunity as you connect deeper and deeper and you get that dialogue going. You're developing a language with your team. You're having to learn how to interpret that language. That's part of the journey. So go with that and allow for the possibility that they might bring up memories or buried things that are ready to be resolved, whether it's present or past life. Because there's a lot of healing that happens when you open up these gates to communication. And that's reminding me, Kathy, I think it was you that, no, it was Elena, you talked about the indigo. Somebody talked about indigo, which to me, that immediately makes me think of the sixth chakra, the third eye. So it could also be connected with that as well. And maybe what they're saying is, hey, your third eye's opening. more coming. So I'm just chatting with the people on the YouTube side as we go along. Anybody else want to pop in and share something that hasn't already talked? Want to be sure everybody gets a chance. Linda, did you want to talk? You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. This
Oh,
is,
my camera's still not working.
yeah, that's okay. Just share because you've had some pretty amazing experiences recently.
Yeah, today I'm not in the greatest spirits, so
Oh, I'm sorry. Anything we can help with?
no, a lot of things come up when I'm sleeping.
Happy things,
No,
disturbing?
not happy things.
Like, can you give us a clue what kind of stuff?
Oh, I don't know if it's just emotions that rise up, keep me awake.
So it feels like sadness that needs to be released?
Well, I had a healing with Archangel Metatron last week on the 8th. And they released some major blocks that I had from past lifetimes. So I think I'm still working through all that, all the emotions and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is coming up. And just ask your angels to help you with it if it feels too heavy. They can slow the pace so it doesn't go too fast. It gives you time to work your way through it. They can help you to understand it. But you also might want to, in one of your meditations, just say, listen, team, I'm feeling low. I need some extra love and support. And visualize them coming in and holding you, filling you with divine love light so that it lifts your spirits and revives you and you feel better. You can do that anytime you want, whether in a meditation officially or you just pause and say, hey, team, I need some love. Please come down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They will come in and they will just hold you so tight until you relax into that love and allow it to penetrate the sadness. And it probably means there's some big stuff that's ready to come out, Linda. You're just feeling the edges of it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So when it comes out and you understand a little bit more about it, you'll feel better. Can you try that? See if that helps?
Yeah. I mean, I usually ask them for, if I get woke up, I'll ask them for a blanket of comforting love light put over me, but I don't know, I must be resisting some things because
Well, it's kind of a new thing to go that deep. You know, you've been taking little swipes at it for a while now. You're at a place now where you're ready to go deeper and you're feeling it. Plus, the energy is pushing you forward to do deep work as well. And that
yeah,
can be really uncomfortable.
yeah, I'm kind of,
Go
I
ahead.
guess I'm fighting it a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want to resist. You want to flow with it.
I know I try not to, but I mean, it was my natural nature for
Sure.
so
And you're
many years.
how about if we reframe that? It used to be your natural way of being.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
don't,
it's the whole working through stuff from this lifetime too.
yeah, some heavy stuff, which you don't have to carry. You can let it go. And we want to help you with that. The other thing that occurs to me, if you're getting woken up and you're getting those things that are making you feel sad and it's interrupting your sleep, it's important that you get sleep. You need to be rested. So you can ask them, please don't do it during sleep. Come to my meditations and share these things with me. You can ask them to stand over you with a blanket of love while you sleep so that you get deep, restorative sleep. See, as sovereign souls, we can ask for any of that stuff that we need for our well-being because that's what they want. So you just speak up and tell them what you would prefer, and they will honor that request.
Yeah, I think there's more to it. Something I'm probably doing to myself.
Well, something you're afraid of. You can feel it, and it's sparking fear in your stomach. I feel that knot in your stomach. But you know, the thing is, whatever they have to share with you, it's ready to come out. It's bubbling up. So if you just brace yourself, do some deep breathing and say, okay, let's get this over with. And you might find it's not nearly as bad as you thought it was. It's in the withholding of it, the pushing it back, the resistance, that it builds up to be even worse than what it really is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a pattern that I've noticed that
Yeah.
I'm trying to let go of.
You can't handle with their help. So better out than in.
Yeah.
You know how in some African traditions, when they get married, they jump over the broom in celebration? I just saw a visual of you celebrating that you've released whatever that big thing is, that big scary boogeyman, and you jumping over the broom to celebrate. It's there. Let it go.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe they're trying to blast it out of me.
Oh, they're gentle. They're very gentle. They don't want to harm you. But it's also something important to come out. So they're nudging you a little more, like a poke in the ribs instead of, a tap on the shoulder. But it'll be so much better when you get it out of there.
Yeah. All I can do is let go of my resistance and allow it to happen. I'm working on it and doing the best I can.
You keep doing that, yeah, because you'll feel so much better. Do you think that there's guilt attached to it?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because that's kind of the energy I'm feeling.
Yeah, that comes from like shame.
Okay, so shame and guilt. And can you, in your logical mind, see that it doesn't serve anybody for you to carry that load?
I know.
So why do you think that you would want to continue carrying it?
I don't want to. It's just,
Is
I
there
thought I was letting it go, but I don't know how deep it is.
Yeah. Is there something in you that says you deserve this, you have to do it? It's an obligation?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, it just needs to be probed more to find out what's there. And, it's like the magician pulling all those scarves out one after the other. It's going to keep coming until you get to the end of it, but it needs to come out. It's time to be
Yeah.
purged. And you don't deserve to carry any guilt or shame. The angels say, let that go. It's a waste of time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like having a rain cloud over you when you have that.
Yeah, it's just that old programming from the Catholic Church.
Oh,
Family.
yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, it's taken a lot to work it out.
So there you go. That's a big clue. Do you now understand that those were stories that they made up to control you?
Yeah, it's just I have to work through it. I know. I say to let go of it, but it doesn't all go.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's a lie you're telling yourself, that you have to let go of it. Maybe you just let go of that notion that it's even hard, and you just say, okay, it's gone. I said so. I'm a sovereign soul. It's out of here. No more part of my reality.
I could give that a try.
Yeah. Make it lighter. See, it feels very heavy. You want to make it lighter. Let it flow out of you. Say, no, I'm not going to torture myself anymore, because Creator says I don't deserve that. And Creator wants better for me. So allow Creator to flood you with that beautiful love light, soothing your soul and your heart until you happily let it flow away. You know, it's like somebody opens up an old attic and all these birds fly out the window. It's been closed up a long time, but it's time to open it, let the sun shine in, and clean it up. Baby steps, you'll get there.
Okay.
Anybody else? Questions, comments, shares, extraordinary experiences? We love to hear about those. I'm just checking on the YouTube side. We have a few people over here chatting away. Awesome. Jen says she's a recovering Catholic also. There's a lot of those. And, you know, evangelicals and all sorts.
Yes, I think that was always my hardest part, is because you've been conditioned from infancy almost. Well, actually, into the religion.
Mhm.
And it's all just to make you think, or for me, it was just to make you actually be a good person, when why would they think that you wouldn't be automatically? You know, it's hard getting past any type of religion or conditioning like that.
Well, it
So,
runs so deep that, you know, that we're all stained with this original sin and we're unworthy sinners. And those were all lies.
to begin with, yes.
Mhm.
Dark blanket over us our whole lives. And now that we get that's not true. That
No,
was man-made manipulation, has nothing to do with God.
no.
So let's just throw that crap away, sweep it off like the detritus that it is, let the sun shine, step out there into creator love, and accept that we are magnificent, brilliant, resplendent, and perfect already as souls. And we're going to get better, which is what we're working on. There's more joy and peace that comes with that. And you go with it far enough, you get down the road where it turns into bliss. And that's what Creator wants for all of us.
Yes.
So it's recognizing those lies and those controlling manipulations, just rejecting them, throwing them away. Not part of your reality anymore. Arlene says, yes, born with sin. But we weren't. And if you can imagine, you know, Creator made us to be these extensions of themselves. So go out and have these marvelous experiences. And then we're feeding that information back to the collective, which helps everybody. So why would Creator saddle us with something like that, which would block our ability to have that expansive journey? So it's really all about coming here, expanding your consciousness, having a good time. We're supposed to have fun because that shifts the energy into a higher level of receptivity, and then doing what feeds your soul. That's really all we, if we allow those old programs to block us, then we're cheating ourselves. We're not having the fullest expression that we intended for this lifetime. So when we get to the end, we'll have a lot of regret. And none of us wants that, which is what we're learning now, to let that all go. And it really does help if you haven't had the visual of bringing your angels, Creator, Jesus, whoever you want to see, bring them in and let them hold you in their arms and just absorb that energy. There's nothing like that. It feels so wonderful. If you have trouble with that, the Little Book of Meditations, which is the one that came after the 21-day meditation challenge, that one's got some beautiful meditations where you are held in the arms of Creator as a baby, infant, held in the arms of Creator. Creator looks down at you. You look up into Creator's eyes. See yourself reflected. Wow, is that a powerful experience? That will help a lot. If you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend it. Because Metatron picked all of those meditations specifically. And it came after the 21-day meditation challenge for a reason, because as we're expanding, we were going to need those tools. So very clever how he's crafted this whole thing. And Eileen said she questioned the nuns and it drove them up the wall. Yeah, because it's all authoritarian, right? Creator's not authoritarian. And Eileen, your big question was why Mary of Magdala was never considered an apostle. Yeah, well, that was male power suppressing the women, and that's been going on, I think, since the beginning of time almost. But we know it's not true, so we don't have to live with it anymore. We can release it. Eileen, how come you didn't jump on the Zoom? You could talk more freely. Jen says Mother Mary appeared to her in November and caught her appearance in a picture. We've not heard from her. Any suggestions to help hear her? Not quite sure I understand that, Jen. But what you could do when you go into your meditation and you're in that very relaxed state, and you're ready to begin, you could call out to her and ask her if she will come. Now, if you don't feel her, you don't see her, don't worry about it. Visualize her, use your imagination. Bring her forward to you in whatever way you think that she looks, because it doesn't matter. It's all creating a scene to help you. So you set up the scene, you bring her in, start a conversation with her, and just relax and enjoy it. At some point, she will start interacting with you. It will stop being your imagination. It will be real. You're just priming the pump, allowing the space for her to come in. And you might have to do that a few times before it really starts to flow. But it's a great technique, and it really helps to get through the blocks. Eileen, you're hearing thunder? I don't know if you're talking about presently or what in your meditations. Aurora Blue used to be Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, it's hard when you've got that kind of conditioning, but not impossible. Just keep reaching for the love, for better for yourself. It's really about loving yourself enough to give yourself that gift of creator love. It's always yours, there for the taking, but you've got to reach out, accept it, and embody it. It will change your life in the most beautiful, wonderful, soul-enhancing ways. You'll just feel lit up from the inside out. It's incredible. Yeah, Eileen, you're right. Not just authoritarian, misogynistic. Yeah. You're going to come on. Awesome. Okay, that's perfect. Jen, you were driving in the woods and you felt all this energy, so you took a picture with the phone and you got a picture of Mary. Okay, gotcha. That's the picture that is your avatar there. That's beautiful. So that's her reaching out to connect with you. So just let her come to you in meditation. If there's any idea that you don't deserve it, or, she's like this highly elevated being that you don't have a right to call on, those are all lies. You can call on anybody you want. You can call on Creator themselves if you want. Creator has come into my meditations. That's where some of those things in the book came from. When it's appropriate, they show up. But you can also ask for it. They're working with you. They want the highest and best for you. So they will bring it. The link for screen, go into the Facebook group, Eileen. And if you don't see the post I put in there with the link, just search Zoom and it should come right up. Because I posted it, I think it was this morning. Linda, there's a lot from your childhood that you don't remember, and it makes you wonder what memories you're suppressing. So that's the fear. What am I suppressing? What if there's nothing so bad? Let it come up. Better you allow it to process, get past it, so you can reach out to the joy. You don't deserve to be in this level of torment every day of your life. You deserve to be that beautiful little child who's inside of you, ready to come out, to dance in the sunlight, to play with the butterflies and the wildflowers in a gorgeous scene. That's all waiting there for you. You can have it. You just have to teeny little bit, baby steps, let go of the fear. Because whatever it is probably not as bad as you're thinking it is. And it's over and done with. You can't change it, but you can learn from it. So let it come out, teach you whatever it is you needed to know, and then you can transmute it. You can ask the angels to help you transmute so it no longer tortures you. You're kind of living life in a little torture chamber. And that's not why you're here. More love for you and knowing that you deserve better. You deserve to be that beautiful little child, having the joy and the robust experience. So Eileen, now that you're front and center on the camera, share.
It's been an interesting, I started one day late, and yesterday I had a vision pop in my eye, behind my eyes. And it was interesting because I turned my head one way. There was nothing. I turned it the other way and I saw an image of people on a truck, and I turned back the other direction and I turned my head both directions, and I only saw the vision on one side when I turned my head to one direction, which was really interesting. I haven't quite figured out what it is yet, but I know it's a start. But when I've been meditating, what I've done is I am now recording directly into the notebook on iPad. And that's when I'm just basically what I'm hearing I say. And that's what I've been posting. So.
That's perfect.
I think the thing that got me was the fact that I can't interfere with other people's journey. That's their journey. And I mean, at the time, because of what I do, I work in emergency management. I'm living and breathing and seeing what's going on in California. I work in the DC area, so we're partially activated because of the inauguration and everything that goes around with it. And I can't be drawn into everybody's drama.
Right.
I have to let them have their own drama. It's their journey. And that's what I'm starting to hear more and more.
You're going to keep hearing it until you practice it.
Well, and that's what I'm slowly doing. I'm letting the guides help those in California. I do my little bit by donating to certain charities. And then I'm doing that bit, and then telling the guides, I'm sending you positive white light to help them. And that's as much as I can do. I can't go there and put out fires. And that's what I keep on liking it to in my brain. I can't go put out the fires for them.
Yeah. It's the fixer in you.
Oh God, yes.
You want to make everything better. And you know, when you do that, Eileen, you can actually deny them the opportunity of the lesson.
Yeah, and that's basically what I was hearing. And there was something that you said either yesterday or today, where you talked about where we're always letting other people, basically, if in a family group, well, it's better if we go here, if we do what you want. And I realized that's what I did with my ex-husband when we were looking at where we were going to move to. I said, okay, I did say I prefer here, but it's up to you where you want to be. And he chose another location, which did not work well for me at all. And I knew in my gut that was going to happen, but I didn't speak up at the time.
Yeah. That's the women's disease to please.
Yeah, it's that. And plus I was just starting to work in emergency management. So it's the helpfulness, the fixer, that type of thing that coincided with that. And my empathic ability added to that. And you add all these things together that really made it wasn't even, okay, we go where you need to go type thing. It wasn't.
Yeah. And the problem with that way of being is that you take a gift, being an empath is a gift, and you turn it into a curse or a torture or something, which it was never intended to be. It's a gift. So how can you flip that script and use it as an empowered gift?
Yeah, I I think I realized that as I had my son, and because I saw him having those same gifts, I tried to help him understand, especially when my ex and I went through our divorce. This is basically, it was everybody has their own feelings, and they're allowed to have their own feelings, and you shouldn't feel like you have to tell them. No one should tell you how you're supposed to feel. So I was trying to empower him that way, and I was also trying to empower myself to listen to that too. So I did those small little steps.
That's great.
And I also try to help him realize that there are guides around us. I always refer to them as my parents. After my father passed away, he says, well, when he couldn't find something, well, ask Grandpa to help you find it, and don't forget to say thank you. So and he would says, yeah, Ma, I found it. As soon as I walked out and asked him to help, I went back in, and there it was. He says, did you say thank you? Yes, Mom, I told Grandpa thank you. So just to get him, because we all have, my family also have that sixth sense around us with that type of thing. And I didn't want him to be afraid of it. So I started talking to him about those type of things at a very early age.
That's great, because, you know, some people have those really powerful gifts, but nobody's around to help them understand how to use it.
My thing is, I wanted him to be able to, his father is borderline Asperger. So emotions and differences in emotions, I helped my son understand that while we may see, well, some people may see only red, green, blue, brown, we see the various shades. And that's the same with emotions. Some people see so many varieties and so many colors of emotions, where others are just not capable of seeing that variety of emotions. And sometimes you have to liken it to something that they can understand. And sometimes they just can't, they're not at that point yet. Again, one small steps to help him understand the differences. He's now a professor at university, so I'm hoping that's going to help him deal with his students and other faculty.
Yeah, greater awareness is always a good thing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to help. And one thing I always strived with him was everybody is gifted in some way. Some people are gifted in math. Some people are gifted at art. Some people are gifted in cutting hair. Some people are gifted in plumbing. And it says, your big thing is decide whether whatever you're gifted in, or anybody, is whether they want to do it as their work or save that to feed their soul. And just to decide which is the best for them at that time.
Yeah. And the other thing about that is you're giving him all this wonderful advice. Are you taking it yourself?
I have been. I literally have been. No, it's the past year, because I've been dealing with some health issues. It's made me step back. And especially right now, because there's certain things I'm not involved with that I really, if I was at work, I'm teleworking right now, but if I was at work, I'd be deep down into it. And it's a way of separating myself out and reinforcing that I don't have to be involved with everything. I can, okay, I've closed the laptop. I can walk away and not worry about that right now, because it's not I'm not responsible for it right now.
Yeah.
So it's reinforcing that.
You got a huge lesson when everybody was sick for, what was it, a week? And hey, the place had to run itself, and it did.
Yeah, we've had a lot of issues. I mean, and we've had a lot of people who've left the department, and everybody's doing double, triple duty. Yet we're trying to make it do right now.
Yeah. And boundaries at work are every bit as important as your personal life.
And that's what being away has also taught me, that it's not only their boundaries, but my boundaries that I have to learn to not step over and get into other people's journey. And that's because I want to help. And I got to allow them to find their own way.
Or at least wait for them to ask for help.
Yeah.
That's another big.
That's don't be the first to volunteer to help them. Oh, you said you needed this. Here's already the research done with that. Let them ask.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning the hard way, but I'm learning.
So Judy just popped out. I was just going to say, Judy, share with us. I hope you come back. It was just a minor glitch there. So while we're waiting to see if anybody else joins in, anybody have anything they want to say right now that they haven't said before?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because normally it's like, because going into the Akashic records is, of course, not new for me. I've done it for years, but more as a nature person, is it kind of like acceptable to imagine the Akashic records actually sitting in nature?
Sure.
Okay.
Anything at all. Yeah.
So, because I think I would feel more comfortable than walking into this huge, I mean, I've gone into the records so many times, and most of the times it's musty and dusty and smells. This last week it's been fairly clean, and of course I have my sofa there, but it would still, I think, would be more, I would get more out of it and more information and have more fun if I
Yeah.
literally put it out in the woods.
Would it be in the flowers? Like it would be in the stamen of the flowers? It would be in the pond. That could be that
Yeah.
energy. It's just energy.
Yeah.
And
Did you read what I wrote yesterday? That's exactly what I wrote. The fact that everybody's journey in the Akashic records is different, and it's to make them more comfortable. So you have to make it comfortable for you, whatever that may be.
it doesn't matter. And everything in the records happens at the speed of thought. So you go in, you see musty and dusty, you can say, don't like that. I'm going to create a circus, and that will be the records. Whatever brings you joy.
Now
You-
that might be fun, making it a circus.
I have gotten circus a lot of times. I will go in, there'll be clowns. There's these little pink poodles riding on tricycles. Weird stuff, It's anything. And part of it is to make you lighten up and laugh so that
Yeah.
you expand the experience.
Right.
There's no reason you can't make it up to be whatever you want. I could see you walking along, sniffing the tulips, and each one of them are emitting to you energy of the Akashic records.
Maybe that's what the flowers were coming out of the that coat of arms, because they kept changing. It was just like, first it was one bouquet, and then I'm like, ooh, I like that, but then another one would come up. I'm like, ooh, I like that even better. So it was like almost kind of, because what I think what I would like to do is take that billboard and set it out in nature somewhere where it can, they can help me clean it up, because I know there was a message on there, because I keep being drawn back to it, but it's kind of hard to read it. Normally I can read backwards without any problems, but when it's blurry, because it looks like somebody kind of smeared some of the letters. And so I've been sitting here thinking while I'm listening to everybody, I'm like, I wonder if I could take it out in nature and clean it up a little bit and turn it so that I could actually see what they had written on the billboard.
Perhaps put it near a lake that you're looking at the reflection, and that will reverse it for you. That was literally, that's the first thing that came to my mind, was just give a lake to look at it.
Because I had thought of a mirror earlier, and I was like, no, because that means it's put in the same kind of atmosphere you would see the records in, this pristine, you got to go into the bathroom where there's a mirror. But I like that with using a lake instead. Yeah. I'll have to try that tonight.
You could have a mirror materialize in your hands.
Yeah.
Because remember, speak thought.
Yeah.
It sounds like what they're trying to do with you, with all those different bouquets coming, is they're trying to emphasize the message. It's unlimited. What do you want?
Yeah.
Ask for more.
I was just it was just so funny that it just kept spewing, because in my head, I was thinking, this isn't a coat of arms, but yet it was. Because again, that coat of arms goes back to medieval times and that stodgy energy. And so those flowers coming out of it, it was just like, ooh, 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 I like that. Ooh. It was just like,
what if a flock of the bluebird of happiness comes and they spell out the words.
Ooh, that'd be fun too. Oh, my geese. How about my geese bring it in?
The geese, hawks,
My image was Canadian geese that popped into my mind, pointing you to the direction. Literally,
Yeah.
that's the first thing I thought of.
yeah,
Because they've been extremely noisy out here, and I'm like,
Oh yeah. Where are you located, may I ask?
right now I'm in Enid, Oklahoma. And
I'm
there's
from
some very,
Oklahoma.
oh really? Hey,
Yes, hi.
very, very noisy geese. Across the road, there's like I don't know, it's not really a pond. It's like a huge drainage ditch, maybe. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of reeds and everything growing. So the geese go from the park down the street and they come over here. And then when they take off, they're almost as noisy as the Air Force jets going overhead. They are loud.
Yep.
well,
And they let you know they're a boss sometimes.
Oh, yes, they do. Uh-huh.
I want to be sure you got the message.
Yep.
Well, that too.
So,
So where in Oklahoma are you at?
I'm down by Lawton,
Ah, okay.
little town called Apache. So,
Ah, okay.
yeah.
is that far?
That's down where the Wichita
Wildlife
where
refuge
the
is. Yeah.
wildlife refuge is that I always used to remember when I went down there and I was so upset because the buffalo weren't showing up. All I saw was the longhorn steer. And I told her, I'm like, I am not leaving this refuge until a buffalo shows up. And I'm just speeding along. And I was like, I'm all pissed off because still no buffalo. And then, out of the corner of my eye, it's like, what? And I stopped that car so fast. And I'm like, oh my crap. And I had to back it up because there she was standing right. I mean, you couldn't miss her. She was standing on the road. And and she's the one who posed for me when I said, can I take your picture? And she goes, well, but of course, but let me pose for you first. And I mean, literally she did. And I was
That's
like,
buffalo with an attitude.
she was. I mean, it was hilarious. And I was like, I'm like, thank you. Now I can leave. No.
Yeah.
That's a good self-esteem.
Yeah.
But it was so, it was so funny. I just loved it down there because it was just so serene to drive through there and go on some
It
of the
is.
and stuff. Yeah.
That's what I like to do once a week. That's church for me,
Yeah.
is to get out there and just, I'll be the one driving 5 miles an hour. Enjoying it.
I'd be right there with you because I'm like, did I see something? Wait a minute, did I see something?
Yeah.
I'm not any place like that, but believe me, webcams come in handy when you want to do that, something like that. There are so many webcams that are located out in nature that you can just pull up. One of my favorite ones is the Monterey Bay Aquarium has a number of webcams, one of which just looks out of the bay and you can actually hear the sounds of the seagulls and things like that. And for me, that feeds my soul sometimes.
Mhm.
And I try to find those webcams that can do. I just wish they had smell-o-vision so I could smell the salt air. But I'm from Nova Scotia originally, so you need the real salty northeast cold wind air there. But it's still, it feeds my soul.
Mhm.
Me personally, I like them up close and personal. That's just the way I've been trying to get a story that I'm trying to get done so I can get the videos done, but trying to get the Medium article done about the mountain lion that I encountered back in 1999. And it just literally to have a mountain lion just show up out of nowhere and stop. Again, it was that same thing. Because she showed up on the side of the road and said, and I did that same knee-jerk reaction. It's like, did I just see a mountain lion? And backed up, and sure enough, there she was. And she's like, pull over, we need to talk. And I'm like, seriously? So that for me, it's more fun when they're like in nature,
Yeah.
as long as you do it safely. But it's
Yeah.
like, I've had so many beautiful encounters with animals in my dreams, because I do have tigers that show up sometimes when I meditate, and they will literally come right up onto the porch of the cabin that I like to go. That's why I was asking if I could take it out in nature, because I've actually had all three of the tigers come in, the white one, the Bengal, the Siberian, and they will literally come up to the front door and with their paw, and they'll knock on the door to let me know they're there. And I can open up the door and I'm like, okay, what do you got to tell me? And they give me all kinds of information.
Wow.
So that's why I was curious if I could just take the records and imagine them being out in nature.
What about sea life? Are you connected or attracted to any sea life? You could have a dolphin swim you out and show you marvelous things underwater.
I haven't been, it's like the only interesting thing I've ever swam with was a great white, and I don't want to do that again, because that was a little scary. It would have been more scary if we would have known it was ahead of time that it was right behind us, but but my dad spotted it in binoculars, and he's like, oh shit, but and
The
then
image,
it's like,
the image behind me is of Nova Scotia, and that's home for me. My family were by the shores of the Bay of Fundy, and we're lobster fishing, and that's, to me, when I think of the sea, those are the images I think of.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't want to be in the ocean. I'm okay with looking at it, and that gives me that.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah,
Aurora Blue said she's also from Lawton, you guys, so you wouldn't have picked up on that. And
Hi. Yay.
Penny appreciates the tiger story. She's also had a tiger. But what about just get a big whale then? You'd feel safe with a whale. And in the records, you can breathe underwater. So
I can breathe underwater anyway.
Okay.
My mom said I was part mermaid, because when I swim, I usually swim on the bottom of the lake, at the bottom of the ocean, and I don't come up for a long, long, long time. And she's like, are you like part mermaid or something? Because nobody can stay underwater that long and breathe. And I'm like, I can.
There are some people who can. They practically live underwater. What about invite mermaids to have an adventure?
Oh, now that would be fun. Yeah. Bring in some dolphins.
The records are inviting us to expand our creativity.
You could bring hawks for the sky, the mermaids for the ocean, and the tigers for the land, and get messages from all the different types of areas.
Or you could call dinosaurs. You want to see what their land looked like when they were around?
I already did that at the beginning of this challenge. We don't want no more dinosaurs. Those are scary. And loud.
Yeah.
They were something else though.
To plant the seeds for people of how big this can be. The records are not this tiny little thing.
Right. But that's why it's good that we get together, because when you talk to different people, it opens up that imagination of something that I wouldn't have thought of, to go into the ocean and pull in a dinosaur, not a dinosaur. Well, actually there was Nessie lives in the ocean. So, but to pull in some of these where you can just pull it in, because like I said, like the work I do, it's more you do a shamanic journey. You don't go up to the Akashic records. So it's like when you think of the difference, because on a shamanic journey, you're always out in nature. But when you're actually,
what if you take a shamanic journey in the records? What would that look like?
Don't know. I can find out though.
You just reminded me. I loved that vision you talked about in the beginning where there was a red carpet on the stairs. Oh my gosh. They put out the red carpet for you?
Yeah. But it was a golden staircase. They needed to have made it silver because silver is feminine. The gold is masculine. But oh well, you know, at least I had my white gossamer gown on.
Yeah. Imagine if you were an artist and you could just draw that. Oh,
Oh, I know. I really wish I could because
maybe you could get
Yeah.
AI to do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I
could be-
did. Now I did do that yesterday because remember, yeah, on the first week I did the meditations again with the cards, but I put it on medium and you're like, wouldn't it be cool if you could put the cards on there? Well, yesterday I did, and I actually had Chatty give me the 3 cards. And actually I liked them better than the ones that were in the deck.
Cool.
So it was kind of cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, before we wrap, you guys, I thought it would be fun. Let's talk about what is your goal for the second week of the challenge? Now that you got your feet wet, you know what the process is like. What do you think might be a cool thing to reach for the second week? Dave, you want to start?
For me, it would be to be less doubtful, more inviting. I'm going to go back tomorrow morning and, start inviting, as my guides and whoever else I can draw in, and be more inviting and less analytical. I can see from listening to this that, it's so wide open, I really have no idea. And it's inspiring to hear what people are experiencing. So I'm definitely going to a week of trying to bring more in. I think that would be my goal.
That's awesome. And just know you can invite anybody you like. And Archangel Gabriel could show up as a bear. They don't have to be in a form that you think they can be in. They can be in any form. It's the energy that you're looking for.
Mm.
Who else wants to share?
Up this week, what I've been doing is more of asking my guides to tell me what they think I need to hear right now. I think going for the next week, it will be take me where you want me to go, as opposed to just hearing, take me where you need me to go right now. So baby steps.
A good question to ask when you don't know what else is to say, show me what I need to know right now that I don't know. That can be really interesting.
Okay.
Jolene is saying she swam with the dolphins. She lives in Hawaii, so she gets to do that. And once swam with a shark unexpectedly.
Oh, I love Hawaii.
Yeah.
My son just spent a week there and sent me a picture while we were having the snowstorm with his feet up, and you could see his sandaled foot in the lower corner and looking at the beach. It says, yeah, rub it in.
So Kathy, how about you? What kind of goals do you have for the coming week?
Well, I think this week I'm going to do the priming of the pump method and see how that works.
Perfect.
Yes, I agree with Kathy. I think I need to do that and then do some more belly breathing, reading on that.
And if you have beloved pets that have crossed over that you'd like to connect with, call them into the records. Have a reunion.
Okay. Yeah.
Have a reunion.
I would like to, because I've got a lot.
Yeah,
A
they
lot
can
that have
all
passed
come,
over.
or just some, whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to instill into all of you is just the expansiveness of the records. If you can dream it up, it can be there.
Oh,
No matter how outlandish it might seem, there are no boundaries.
mm.
Yeah.
You could get, yellow polka dotted poodles if you want. How about you, Eileen? What is your goal for the week?
As I said, I'm going to do rather than just tell me what I need to hear.
Oh, right. Yes, you did say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Debbie Brady said she's had past lives as a dolphin. She never officially swam with them, but she's been told by a friend that he saw one swimming near her at the beach. Cool.
Mm.
Oh, Jolene is living in Texas now, but is from Hawaii. That must be hard.
Oh, yeah.
I will say that I have visited some of the webcams at the hotels that they have in Hawaii a little too often just to get the view of the ocean there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marby says she loves swimming underwater. Maybe you and Marby can meet underwater. Elaine. So what is your goal? I don't think you said yet.
Mine, I want to have more fun this week. I'm just going to take those records out and I'm going to go sit them in nature. And maybe one night I'll show up at the ocean. And another night I might end up at a pond somewhere just to, and I'm hearing Merlin she's got some messages. So we're going to bring Merlin in and see. I know she wants to come back. But I want to see, apparently she's got some updates. So we're going to see. And it was interesting because somebody commented on, I don't know, I forgot what video it was on. They were talking about how their cat just up and vanished in 2017, the same year Merlin disappeared. There's Debbie.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Merlin was Elena's cat who went into the closet and never returned.
Oh,
Went through a portal.
She went, yeah. She was in the closet with the two new kids. Well, they're not new anymore. Bearheart's the only one left. He's like 7, but she was like 13.
Hey, Debbie.
Yeah.
Hey, Debbie.
You could visit, bring them into a stone circle.
So we went into the closet. I was hanging up clothes after I had done laundry. And while I had the kittens corralled in the closet with her, I decided it would be a great time to go take the trash out. That way the kittens wouldn't try to rush out the door. Well, it didn't even take me 5 minutes to go out to the trash, throw the bags in and come back in. I came back in the apartment and figured, since I didn't see any of the cats, I figured they were all still in the closet. So I went into the closet. The 2 kittens were still in there playing in my shoes and doing, kitten stuff, tearing this up and tearing that up. But there was no Merlin. I tore my apartment apart. I looked in drawers that weren't even open. I searched probably for 2 months looking for her, even though she kept telling me, Mom, I'm not there. I had an emergency on Venus. I had to leave and I couldn't stick around to say goodbye. Quit looking for me. And I'm like, yeah, right. You went through a portal to Venus. Got it. Okay. Let me go look over here. Maybe she, and I was checking every black cat that I saw out there. It's like, that my cat, that my cat. Never did find her, which of course I know she really did. And my friend who lives in Oregon, she's like, how many times do I have to tell you? How many times does she have to tell you? She's back on her home planet of Venus. Quit looking for her. And it's like, so that's why it's so hilarious. I do this for a living, and yet I still get flabbergasted by how a cat can open up a portal just because there was an emergency on another planet and she had to leave. Sorry, Mom, had to go. Couldn't stick around to say bye.
They probably opened it up for her to make it quicker.
Oh, yeah. But the kittens, luckily, were still there. And they're just like, la, 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 like nothing was going on. It was like, so now she wants, at first she had said she did not want to come back because she had tried it twice. And apparently those from Venus, when they come down here into especially animal bodies, have issues trying to stay here for any length of time. And so she's like, I don't think I really want to go back and try it again. And now she's saying, yeah, I think I want to try it again, but you have to move out of where you're at first before I can come back.
Well, maybe the 4D energy will be easier for her to manage.
Could be. Because, you know, those of them from Venus are, you know, just like with the Pleiades and Sirius, if you're actually on those planets, you're in a very much higher density than we are.
Mhm.
So Debbie, do you want to share? Let us know how things are going for you.
I want
Well,
to see a picture of the puppy.
oh, you can see the puppy. She's in my lap.
I can't see her.
That's why you look so relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not watching her. There, can you see her?
Oh,
You can't, she's
black
black. So
blob.
she's really hard to see.
Yeah.
You'll
Really,
have to
really
put a
hard to
colored
see.
ribbon
Let's
on
see.
so it stands out.
There she is.
Oh, no, she patted the.
She goes, I don't want to be on camera.
Okay. No, see, and then I have a black shirt on. I'll have to coordinate a little differently next
Yeah.
time. Let me turn this light back off.
Plan for that.
Oh,
So how
Yeah,
has Tilly changed your meditation journey? Because that's like way different.
way different. Way
God.
different. You know, I think because I am laughing so much, you know, between her and my mom's dog and uh, her, she just makes me laugh. So I laugh all the time. And with that laughter and joy, just it makes meditation so much easier.
Yeah.
And and you know, and figuring out how to use oracle cards and use the oracle magic glass or the coffee froth or whatever seems to just make it easier. And dancing, I'm dancing too, which is hilarious with a puppy.
Do you dance with her?
Yeah, hold her in
Well,
your
she's on the floor. I don't lift her up.
Well, you should, because I do that with Bearheart. I put him in my arms and we dance around with him, and he'll just, because
You know,
he
she gets carried so much going in and out and up and down the stairs that, yeah, the dancing's for me. And she actually, I kind of time it so that she falls asleep when I'm dancing. So then she
Ah.
crawls into one of the beds and or lays down on the floor, and she's figured it. She's so smart. She is so smart. Her favorite toy is a stick outside. She is she definitely has the retriever mindset,
Mhm.
you know, and a nose. She's got a really good nose on her. And so I can just see my dad. He would have loved this dog. Absolutely loved this dog because he loved Labrador retrievers. Now, I don't think he ever had a golden retriever because she's black, but she's a golden doodle. He
Okay.
mostly had black labs and Chesapeake Bay retrievers. So I grew up with dogs. In fact, my first home was above a dog kennel. So, you know, I'm right at home.
You
Yeah,
met
my mom and dad, my dad leased a place and then my mom moved in with him. And then I was born and they lived in this tiny little apartment above a garage at a dog kennel. And so, you know, the first sounds I heard were dogs barking. So no wonder I love dogs, right?
Your father may have sent him to you.
Oh yeah, I think so. along with
Tilly
along
and
with a few others.
take Tilly into your meditation and call your dad. So
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
be together.
Okay. I'm pretty sure, I mean, you know how close I am to my angel tribe. I call him Angel Team, but maybe I need to call him Angel Tribe. I'll have to think about that.
Constantly.
What?
So we talked about our goals for this week. So anything come to you as a goal to shoot for this week? Other than more joy?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just want to live in the moment. And not one other thing that's super interesting is because I'm so busy with her, I don't have much time for social media. And I haven't, because of that, I haven't been pulled into all of the dramas that's going on. And so, which I think is really healthy. I see what I need to know, I think, and then the rest of it just kind of dissipates and takes care of itself. Yes, I'm aware of the fires. Yes, I'm aware of the funeral. I'm aware of all the political things that are going on, but I'm not getting pulled into it. And I think that's a good thing.
Yes.
Be aware and observe, but not be consumed.
Detached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be detached. So what would be, I think that is probably my goal, is just to continue to enjoy, but also be detached from all the drama that's going on around me. Remember, one of the cards I think I had was about not my circus, not my monkeys, or something like that. From yesterday or the day before. I don't know. They're kind of all rolling together. So I think that's what we're probably all supposed to do, is just to continue sending love and joy into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the cards that came up in the reading that I did on Sunday that I posted on YouTube was about detachment. It's like literally just pull in. And I've been doing the same thing with social media. I'm so busy answering all these questions that are coming through on YouTube because I'm finding it's really touching a lot of people. With the mountain lion story and with the snake, and then people are seeing some of the older videos about pet loss, that they're all reaching out and asking questions. So I've been spending so much time with the people on the channel talking to them that I've done the same thing. I've detached from the news. I know what's going on, but I'm not really like, oh my God, what's going on next? What's going, it's kind of like gone into the background, because it is more about bringing more love onto the planet, bringing more joy. And that's what Tilly is doing. She's nothing but pure joy.
Yeah. Oh, she's so funny, you guys. I should try to take some more videos of her.
For a while.
She bounces around like a pogo stick. It's so funny.
Like Tigger.
Yes, like Tigger.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I call her Tilly the Tiger.
I have
Because
to
it's like
go.
Tigger the Tiger. I love that.
Yeah, I have to go. Wishing you all an uneventful 5 minutes, because God knows that's all any of us can hope for sometimes.
Good to see you.
5 minutes at a time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, we need to wrap shortly, but anybody else have anything they want to share before we close? Yeah, we'll do this again next Monday. For each Monday, we'll do that. We can catch up and see what's going on. And it's wonderful. Thanks for being here and sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doing it.
Thank you.
There will be people
I'll
who
watch
and see
I'll watch the replay so I can catch up on everybody's
Oh,
goals.
you missed a lot. Yeah.
I know. I'll watch it. I will. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to all of you.
Thank
And
you.
I'll catch up when I can with everybody.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, we're all
Perfect.
together, and that extra love and energy and tension, it means the world. And it will change lives, because people will see this after the fact. Be inspired. Maybe they'll be ready to step up and do their own challenge.
Can I just add one more thing?
Yeah.
For everybody, and those are for the people that are watching too, is to please put more prayers up that the California fires get put out as quickly as possible. And then also send healing energy for those that have lost their lives, especially the animals, but also the people. Darn them anyway. But yeah, we really want to make sure we keep putting that love out there and ask those angels if they can't bring some kind of a rain cloud to help the firefighters get those fires under control.
Yeah, bring the angels with the big fire hoses to just
Yeah,
saturate.
absolutely. Yes.
Perfect. All right, you guys, thank you so much. See
Thank
on
you.
the group.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.